Alright, y'all, what's up? This Rich. I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about Angry Birds because you'll notice I keep uploading these Angry Birds videos, and I've been playing this game a lot, but like if you don't know anything about the game, then you might not understand why it's so fun to play. And also, like to me, it reminds me a lot of like bowling, but in a unique way. But anyway, so this that you're looking at is like your home screen. This is the first screen that you see when you load up the game. As you can see, I'm logged in with my Facebook, and if you're logged in with your Facebook, then you're able to see the progress of your Facebook friends. Over here on the left hand side, you've got like the number of stars that I've accumulated, and you get a certain number of stars every time you complete boards or other objectives where stars are awarded. And then you got my gems. With the gems, you can buy things like, let's say that you run out of birds or cards, then you can continue to play on by paying a certain number of gems. And you can also buy spells, and I'm going to talk about spells here in a minute. But so essentially you can buy things that are helpful throughout the gameplay. And then finally, we've got the Black Pearls and the Hat Shop. So, like if you notice, there's this slingshot. And right now, mine is a Emenetheist slingshot. So I've upgraded about 6 times. I think that's what that zap means. But with these Black Pearls, you can go to the Hat Shop and you can purchase hats. And so the hats are $100 into this one, but then when you go into rare, they're $500 a hat. And then you go under magical, and they're 1,000 pearls a hat. And then legendary are 25,000 pearls per hat. And so you accumulate these hats, and they upgrade your slingshot. The slingshot gives you, I believe, more power, but then I know for a fact it gives you more points when you hit things. And so all of the birds that you see right now, you see they've got hats on, so that comes from those hats. You can also be awarded hats through certain challenges, and then selecting from certain selection options. Like for example, you'll notice at the bottom first icon, it has a red exclamation point bouncing. So I tap that, and we see that I've got some feats where I can claim awards. So I just got 400 Black Pearls just for using 250 spells. And you can scroll through and see like the other little things. And then you've got these daily quests where you can earn gems and stuff. This box, so every 30 minutes you get a common option, and you can, when you pick a card, essentially you get like a spell or a number of pearls or feathers. The feathers are applied to unlocking birds. And so right now you see I've got my bubble bird right here, and I'm not going to use her just yet because she only resets every, I think, 12 hours. But then I've got this other bird that's going to unlock in 8 hours and 21 minutes. It took like 5 days, I believe, for him to even be prepared to unlock. So anyway, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and hit this upper right icon, the one with the mountain. Excuse me, let me hit the wrong one. This one. And this is what opens up the actual gameplay board. And you can see right here I'm on level 144. And if you scroll back, you can see all the levels that I've played, and you see stars on top. So as you go through beating levels, it gets harder, you get new challenges, etc. And so you see we got all of these different like landscapes that have come through, these different like towns. And it's interesting because you can see where your friends are at on Facebook. And another thing, I like to kind of look at what the pigs are doing. So like they're always doing stuff. They're always building their city and their environment. And the storyline is that the birds don't like the pigs, and I don't know exactly why, but they're essentially at war. And so they're just like playing along, and you're an angry bird, and you've got to essentially like tear up all of their progress. And so they're going to keep trying to build themselves stronger and stronger, and the challenge is trying to get past it. So like, let's go ahead and play one. Let's do 143. So you would see on the left hand side of the leaderboard, that's where you would see your friends and what their scores are, and you can try to score higher than your friends. But like, I'm actually ahead of any friend that I have on Facebook, so I'm no one's showing over there. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. And so at this point you can select spells. And so I'm going to select each one of these just so that I can show you what each one does. And we'll use them throughout the gameplay. So here's our first challenge. Now if you look at the top of the screen, you see there are 4 circles with my bird icon on the first circle. So each time you beat a stage, that bird icon will progress to the next circle, which is the next stage. Once you beat the last circle, you've beaten the last stage, and then you can move on. If there is a king pig that you're going to have to fight at the end of it, that will be the last. That'll be the last one. So for anybody that's played like Mario Brothers, think Mario Brothers. All right, so let's go ahead. So I'm gonna now once again, like the strategy I take in this video isn't necessarily the strategy I would take during real gameplay. I just want to essentially like show you guys what everything does and what the goals are, so that you might decide you want to try and play the game as well, and then you can try competing against me. But anyway, so the first one up is this snowball icon. Now first of all, if I wanted to pick a different object to sling, a bird or a spell, I can just switch between these cards right here by tapping. And so I'm going to go ahead and just use the snowflake, and you'll see it's going to freeze the whole structure. And the reason why that's important is because, and that's another thing. So if you want to drop the sling, just point it to the left, and then you'll drop it if you've already got it pulled. But anyway, so you'll notice like some of the structures are built out of rock, some of the structures are built out of bamboo, some of the structures have balloons on them, and some have a piece of wood within a piece of structure. Some have barrels which normally explode. There's a light fixture, and then also we've got these teleportation tunnels. So by freezing, what's going to happen is all of these structures are essentially going to become ice, regardless of how tough they are. So boom, and freeze it, and you see it starts falling apart on its own to a degree. But it's not going to do too much damage. Now, if I wanted, I could clear this whole board real easily by selecting this one. This one, watch what it's going to do. It's just going to blow everything over. And everyone dies. And you notice in the upper right, my score going up. The damage that you do, and I got an extra card because I triggered an extra card present. But anyway, so that score is what you want to get as high as possible, and that's what when you're competing against other people you're competing against. So anyway, look at this guy right here, the purple one. He's got this little freaking laser gun, and watch what he's going to do to my bird. Actually, I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to drop my egg into that portal terminal, making him come out on the other side. Hopefully he doesn't shoot me before I get my egg out, because then once I get the egg out, the bird's going to pop up and hit that first structure. See? And then that comes back over and hits that somewhere. Now I'm going to use my bomb, tap, and we're working at it. And I'm going to show you him. I'm going to try to hit him. Watch him shoot me. See? But I still was able to hit him too. Now, I'm going to use my gun and make those two pigs get fat. That way they expose themselves better. And die. Sometimes they'll actually die. But Sometimes they'll just get bigger. Most times they'll just get bigger. So that glowing object right there in the center, that is a extra card. So if we damage that, then we get an extra card. I'm going to use my fat guy right here because I like using him. And hopefully, I don't think he's going to, but hopefully he'll make it all the way to the second structure. And he did. Boom, and see I got an extra card for knocking that over. So now we've got to make it all the way over there. See, he shot me. And that one's in the balloon. Boom. Perfect. I'm glad that one in the balloon died because sometimes they'll just get hung on something and be in a spot that's hard to hit. And you have to blow it up to get to it. Alright, so now look at that first one. It is like really, really solid. I'm going to start off with my snowball. Now everything becomes weak. And now, and then finally, I'm gonna end this board by hitting And I didn't get the extra person, but I didn't need an extra card anyway. But that's my score. I got an apple. See, and now I'm placed on the board. And then the next board opens up. I think we have a chest coming up after this. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and tap this chest. And I get feathers. And now I'm on 145. Notice the exclamation point on the back button. I'll hit that. That means I've got a treasure waiting for me. I'll go ahead and tap that treasure. It's common. It gives me the card options. I'll just select one. Ooh wee, I got a free ducky. Okay, so ask any questions, leave in the comments. If you start playing the game and want to compete, let's be friends. Facebook friends first, and then we'll see each other on the board.